most people don't know themselves. And so that's why they're always blaming the market. They'll blame the next person in traffic. They'll blame the president. They'll blame someone else.
There's a lot of ego in the business industry, but in trading, I think it's bigger. People are not so open to collaborate.
You can go faster alone, but you can go further together.
There's a lot of people that think trading is purpose.
I realize that trading is an individual game. You are the problem, but at some point you have to detach. When you think that you're alone going through a problem, that's when it's the worst.
Saludos mi gente y bienvenidos a otro episodio de Eleva tu Mindset, hoy versión especial porque hoy vamos a hacerlo un poco diferente y es que hoy tengo un invitado especial conmigo que viene directo desde Miami, así que me van a escuchar hablando otro idioma, hoy vamos a hablar en inglés, así que thank you guys for being here y be patient please, it's my first podcast in English, but say hi and welcome with me to Roy Dunia. Hey!
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for the invite to the podcast.
Of course, this is gonna be very fun. Roy Dunia, he is the founder of Chart Addicts and FX Summit, and he's today to speak about a little bit of his journey. And I don't know, how are you feeling here in Puerto Rico? How is is this your first time?
This is my first time visiting here. So I came here for a few interviews. We went to the seminar a few days ago, which was amazing. And so that's going to be the start of the Europe tour.
Wow.
We're going to do Puerto Rico, and then we're going to Europe for the FX Summit to really start the promotion. So thank you for coming out. This was the first stop on the tour, and it was amazing.
Oh, nice. So FX Summit is the big conference for traders, right?
Yes, traders, investors, crypto, entrepreneurs.
Tell me about the beginning of this journey or this conference, big event.
So I'll make it quick. So my history is, before I got into finance, I was in college trying to make money. So I used to resell sneakers like Yeezys and things like that. So I would fly around to the sneaker conventions in New York and California and bring sneaker collections and make a lot of money and then come back. And so I never went to concerts or festivals, but I did go to those conferences like for the sneakers. And I always saw these are people who love their shoes. Let's say they're 30, 40 years old. Mm-hmm. Wife doesn't care, kids don't care, friends don't care. But their closet is worth $100,000. Wow. It's historic shoes that mean a lot to a lot of people. And once a year, they get to bring those shoes out and be cool in front of everyone.
Okay.
Trading is the same. So you're in this individual journey. You're in your house. Wife doesn't care. Kids don't care. Neighbors don't care. And you have something that's worth a lot. And you have something that's really meaningful. But once a year, you can come out and connect with everyone who has a similar interest. And we try to bring together the best speakers to give people a full view of what the future looks like for finance. And that's the game.
That's amazing. And I think you have done a great job. I think you have like 2 years in this journey with the FX Summit. Yeah.
So last year, so this is going to be our third conference in Dubai. Last year, we broke 2,700 people. 2,700, which makes us the largest retail trading conference.
Wow.
And this year, we're expecting over 5,000 people in Dubai. And so it's going to make us the single largest trading conference in the world. That's for the individual trader, not for institutions or for businesses.
Okay.
So for the actual person who's on the computer trading, this is the largest conference for them. And it's not large to the point where they're going to lose the value. You're not in an auditorium where you can't hear the person speaking and you're just there just to be there. Mm-hmm. Each panel is very specifically designed to show you what the future looks like because the people building the future are the ones speaking.
Wow. And do you have what are the topics that you guys prepare for this summit? Is there psychological topics and stuff like that?
So we do need some speakers on psychology, but it's a wide range of topics. So day 1 is trading, day 2 is investing in entrepreneurship, and day 3 is crypto.
Okay.
I can't share too much, but we do have the largest crypto institutions in the world coming to speak at this conference.
Oh, wow.
Bybit, Crypto.com, and some of these companies going to be on the same panel to talk about crypto exchanges and really where's the future of crypto exchanges. For Forex trading, we have Oanda and Forex.com and some of those large companies coming to speak about trading. Top Step, Apex, and some of these futures funding companies and prop firms. Actual traders. There's so many different topics. So really, we're trying to give you a full view of what the world of money looks like, and then give you a playbook on how you can take advantage, because these are the people building it, telling you where it's going to go.
That's very interesting, because here in Puerto Rico, there's a lot of people who's very interested in trading or has experience with crypto, which I had and buy. I'm making peace with crypto right now, but there's a lot of people who are very interested in educating themselves, and coming to this kind of events are very unique and full of value, because I know this path is very solitary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just by yourself. And the problem is, even if you have people around you, they have their own problems.
Exactly.
Everyone has their own. So even if you're in a group of other traders and you have people that can relate to you, you can't always go to them with your problems. So this is a place where you start to realize I'm not alone.
Of course.
There's 1,000 people that flew in from all around the world with the same story of, I thought I was by myself. I was losing for 2 years. I finally just started making money. I watched this guy's videos. I know this guy, and then you're finally relating to everyone when you thought you were the only person. When you think that you're alone going through a problem, that's when it's the worst.
Yeah.
When someone tells you, a billion people have the same issue, it's actually very common. So all of a sudden, it's not as big of a deal to you, right? That's what I feel like the event does.
And have you experienced that in your journey as a trader before?
No. So I never went to events. I don't like people, right? Just truthfully.
No,
because I realized that trading is an individual game. You are the problem when you're losing in trading. And so it's not about going to learn something else. But then after you get consistency, you have to grow. That's where the learning comes in. So first you need direction, courses, and things to get something that works. So you're not gambling. But after a while, this more than anyone. Like this is what you do. Is that the mindset piece is what kills most traders. Okay, so personally, I think that getting around. There's 3 reasons why people come to the conference. It's for education, inspiration, connection. Maybe entertainment, but connection, inspiration, and education. You want to learn, and if you're not learning from the person on stage, you can't deny that what they've done is impressive. And so you have to feel that sense of I need to do better. And then connection, where you're just sitting next to someone, and then while you're waiting for something to start, and you get their Instagram, and all of a sudden there's a connection that gets made.
Of course.
So many $1 million deals got made. There's so many $1 million deals that get made, just people sitting next to each other. Real estate and rentals and trading and markets. And so this thing has spun out of control.
It's funny, you said you don't like people, but you are a trader, and you have experienced troubles in trading.
Of course.
How did you get about them?
So the thing about trading is, if you know yourself, then you know trading, right? So if you know what pisses you off in traffic, you know what's going to piss you off on the charts. Most people don't know themselves. And so that's why they're always blaming the market. They'll blame the next person in traffic. They'll blame the president. They'll blame someone else. So if you know how you react to high stress situations, then you can be successful.
Of course.
And so the market, the way it's set up, is they understand human psychology better than anybody, because they pay hundreds and hundreds of PhDs, millions of dollars a year, to understand human psychology, to present fake opportunities, to drive people to make emotional decisions. And then they scoop up all the money. And so if you can ask yourself a very important question when you're trading or investing, or when someone is trying to get you to do something, what emotion is this thing trying to induce? And then what behavior do they expect based on this emotion? If you don't know yourself, it's out the window. No one fucking knows.
And it's very interesting, because there's a lot of people that is trying to learn more about psychology of trading and mindset of the trader. And they know a lot of stuff, but they don't apply them. They don't apply the concepts.
You know this. It's easier to give advice than take advice,
Of course.
especially your own advice.
Yeah, and most of the people that I've been seeing, I don't know, in Miami or Lebanon, you come from Lebanon, like you moved from Lebanon very early
When I was 11 years old.
when you was 11 years old.
Yep. So I went to the States, learned English. That was tough.
Yeah.
Right. Because when you're older, at least people are more understanding. Kids, ruthless. If you don't speak the language, it's tough. So you have to learn
Bullying
quick.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it's like you have to be able to communicate, and so
Okay.
you have to learn quick. And so I feel like that drove me to become a better English speaker. Even though I'm tired, it's been a long trip, everyone. So maybe I'm not giving my best performance today. But when it comes to the trading mindset, like there's really a very simple formula, and people just want to ignore it because, again, I told you this earlier. People are lost. Like they're just going day by day. Get serious. Like give it 30 fucking days. Put everything else to the side. Nothing else matters but this one thing. And if you're willing to do that for trading or investing or getting in shape, you can have whatever you want. For trading, get a strategy. Start to practice. You're going to learn a lot about what you need to do, and then develop the psychology needed. People want to learn psychology before they really start to trade.
Yeah.
Like if I was to bring a beginner and told them, like, here's the things about psychology for trading, they look at you crazy. They're like, bro, are you scared of moving lights on a screen? Like that's really what because they haven't been through the trial of putting money on the line and feeling high pressure.
Exactly.
So once they understand and they've gone through some trades, then you can teach them. You know when you were in drawdown and that voice on your shoulder kept saying, close, close, close. And the other one kept saying, oh, you should stay in. That's the one you should listen to. And that's where most traders just need to go through this process, and they keep trying to cut it. You have to go through the process.
Of course.
Experience.
And how was the process for you? Do you start with...
Horrible. It was horrible.
Tell me more about
I lost so much money. I lost everything I had.
When did you start?
I started trading in 2016 with crypto.
2016 with crypto. How old were you by that? By then?
I was 20 years old. I was in college.
20 years old.
So I was buying and selling crypto because, you know, this was like early on. And I had lost a bunch of money in crypto because there was a few exchanges that went under. MT Gox, which, by the way, if you're watching this, if you lost money on MT Gox, I got an email yesterday. They're giving us our money back.
Of
They owe me 2.5 Bitcoins. Right? That's $150,000 or something that they owe.
That's crazy.
Yes. And that was lost in 2016. I completely forgot about it. 2017, I had a lot of success in crypto, but I didn't sell. Okay, that was my issue. So I put in $7,000. I told you I was reselling shoes. I take the money, put it in crypto, and then it went to almost $100,000. And I was in college.
Wow.
So
That was the first time that you made that kind of money?
yes, yeah. I've never seen money like that before, like, ever in my life. And so I didn't know what to do, you know?
For me, it's very important to talk about where you come from or what's your relationship with money, if you wanted to say it like that. But have you come from parents that are entrepreneurs, or what's your story about? What's your background?
They are hardworking people, but I don't come from wealth, if that's the question. My parents just prioritized education, and then they prioritized really just not making excuses and working hard. So they would have 2 jobs at one point if they needed to, and you would see them 24/7 working. And so it built a certain work ethic, and then moving to America also sort of, because when you come here, you don't speak the language and you have to get 2 jobs, you really see the work ethic that's built. But also, when you come from the outside, you see opportunity. Even today, I still keep that same lens where I see opportunity everywhere, and people just seem to be used to their environment. I came to Puerto Rico. People are going to go do their morning routine, go grab the coffee in the morning, grab the breakfast, go to work, midday, do something to waste time, and then second half, it's the same schedule. I'm here looking at undeveloped properties. I see undeveloped real estate just standing around. I see so many business opportunities here, and people are just passing through them. And you don't need money to start a lot of these things, right? Because everyone's like, I can't start a business. I need money. You need creativity. So coming from the outside, that's my advantage. That's my advantage for everything. For trading, I come from the outside. For this conference, Every single day we have event planning companies trying to give us advice on how to throw a conference. My advantage
Really?
is that I never read a book. I never studied other conferences, nothing. What I did is I took a blank sheet of paper and asked myself, if you had to get people the best amount of information and make it worth flying all the way across the world and make it worth taking off work, what do you have to do? Okay, wrote that out. What do I have to do to actually get that done? And that's where the fun starts. So having an outside perspective is your strength. You're going to have a lot of people who are in that industry telling you, you got to do it this way and that way. If they knew what they were doing, they probably wouldn't be around giving you advice. They'd probably be somewhere hard to reach. So do it your way.
I like it that way, how you think. And I know these conferences are very big and they took a lot of energy and, strategy to do it. How difficult this or easy? That's
No, not easy.
not easy.
Because if you look at the trading world, you make a lot of money for doing nothing. The conferences, you make no money or we lose money to
That's
do
real.
a lot. But it's a public sacrifice or it's a public service because we have a very clear mission to try to establish the trading space and give it a clear direction. Because you can't have year after year millions of dollars getting made and courses being sold and brokers getting opened and at the end of the day there's nothing left. There's no establishment, there's no like center thing, there's nothing. There can't be nothing left. We have to be able to build it so that year after year we're getting more and more legitimate, and that's where the conference is important to me. Because you lose a lot of it's $1 million for a weekend. Okay?
Of
3 days or 2.5 days. That's a lot of money to spend for a weekend for someone who, like, even if I was a billionaire, spending $1 million on a weekend is still crazy. I'm not a billionaire, right? I'm not a multimillionaire. So it's a huge personal sacrifice to basically put everything you have into this event and then just trust that this is what needs to get done. Like it has to work.
Do you have support you have a team that works with you?
We've had a conversation for 25 minutes. If you think I'm running this conference by myself, you are out of your mind. No, I have an excellent team, and you can't. Here's a quote for everybody: is that you can go faster alone, but you can go further together. And so I can go faster by myself, just sort of running whatever I was doing before. My team is the absolute bedrock, the glue to the whole operation. Okay, because I have weaknesses, and they have strengths that compensate for those weaknesses, and most of my team is smarter than me, and that's how you build a good team. You get your ego out of the way, you find people smarter than you, and you find people that have skills that match your weaknesses. And most people are too scared because if there's all these people smarter than me, then what's my purpose here? To get shit done is to drive the level higher, to set a good example, to be a good leader.
Of course.
So shout out to the team.
No, I really like that approach because I ask you because when you are working something so big in the trading industry, I know there's a lot of ego in here. You know, there's a lot of ego in the business industry, but in trading, I think it's bigger. And even in events or people are not so open to collaborate,
Yes.
In Puerto Rico, I can see it every day. And it's like, it's my community, it's my strategy, it's my whatever. It's like they think they are like, I don't know, magicians or do miracles. And no, this is a trading people needs to know more about this,
Yes.
This can change lives.
Yes.
And I don't know why people, the big ego, I make this kind of money and
It's all about, because most of the people that are promoting are trying to sell something. Okay. And so one of my favorite things to do is give out more information for free than people charge money for. Because it fucks up everybody's game. If I can put out one video on YouTube and then ruin your business model because the information is now out there, you don't have a business. You had an opportunity. But if a business can be taken away by someone making a video, you don't have a business. And so most of these people don't have a real business. But that's why they're trying to protect it so much.
Sorry que coja la cámara un momento, pero es que yo te tengo que invitar a este evento. Si tú eres mujer o si tú eres hombre y quieres regalarle algo especial a tu mujer, este próximo 14 al 19 de noviembre nos vamos de retiro a Costa Rica. Un retiro de conexión, de amor propio y de crecimiento personal solo para mujeres con la compañía Estoy Pa' Mí. Nosotras nos vamos a ir estos días a Costa Rica y todo está incluido: aéreo, hotel, actividades, un evento de Estoy Pa' Mí exclusivo allá en Costa Rica y un goodie bag lleno de muchas sorpresas de Estoy Pa' Mí solo para ti. Quedan espacios muy pocos, así que corre, llama a tu amiga, a tu hermana, a tu prima, y si no tienes amigas con quien ir, no te preocupes, acá vas a hacer muchas amigas. Solo con $200 puedes separar tu espacio, no reembolsables, y debes saldar el viaje de $2,650 que incluye todo en octubre 2024. Te espero, ve al link de aquí abajo para que tengas la información y separes tu espacio.
If people find out my strategy, if people find this and that, I give my strategy out every morning for free on YouTube, and I give away the trades for free, and people still find a way to mess it up.
Wow.
Isn't it crazy? I teach my strategy. It's the best and most effective system in the world, back tested. Okay, maybe not in the world. That's hyperbolizing.
That's the ego. No.
No. I mean, we can put it on paper, and we can find me somebody else. The strategy works, but the human nature is what messes up the results, obviously. I would have perfect results, but I'm human. And so I teach the strategy to people, and it's the mindset that determines if they make or lose money. So these guys don't understand that. They think if someone learns my thing, if I give someone access to my course or my group chat, they don't need me anymore. It's like, bro, that's not how this works. Like, you don't learn trading in 2 hours watching a class. Okay, so everyone needs to realize it's a very hard game. We're not competing with each other. We're competing against the market.
Of course.
They're laughing at us. They're watching all of us
all the time
complain. The retail traders make up less than 7% of the total market.
Wow.
So take every influencer you've ever met, seen, or heard of in your life, put them all in a room, take all their communities, put them all in a room, take every person that watches their content, put them all in a room. That's less than 7% of the total market. They're over there laughing at us.
Yeah.
Argue with each other. And so that's why go carve your own path. You said this earlier. You're not going to be the best version of someone else.
Yeah.
Okay? Be you, because everyone else is already taken.
Yeah. And that's very interesting because there's a lot of traders comparing themselves with the results of another one, or comparing themselves with the path of another trader. You have been very vocal about what you think about that, but in your experience, have you compared yourself once with someone?
100%. I mean, and we do it every day, right? Like, everyone who says, "Oh, I only compare myself to the best version of me," like, stop lying, right? When someone walks in the door, there's a judgment or a comparison that happens of, it's natural. I was actually very lucky because I told you don't meet your heroes earlier, is that I had a lot of people that I idolized, you know, because I thought that they were traders, or traders that I thought were traders that were doing crazy results.
Okay.
And I just kept chasing that. And I would have sleepless nights, and I would be losing, and I'd be like, just sitting there like, how is everybody else making so much money? It's just me. Am I the only one losing? And so I was chasing an unrealistic standard, and that's what made me so good.
That makes you so good?
So good, because I was chasing something that wasn't. Imagine if you thought the fastest person in the world could run as fast as a bullet, and you didn't know anything else. And so every day you're running, trying to you'd be faster than anyone who's training on a track with a stopwatch, right? The standard that you compare yourself to is what's going to. We don't get our goals, we get our standards, right? So I was comparing myself to something that wasn't real, to people doing crazy numbers and having the mindset to hold $30,000, $50,000 drawdown after an account. And so I'm very blessed that those people exist, you know?
It's very interesting the way you're looking at that situation, because when you have so big expectation and you can meet that has an impact in your mental health.
It did for over 6 months, you know, where I just said nothing matters anymore. Because when you finally meet your heroes and you realize none of it was real the whole time, there's this sense of nothing in my life matters. The whole track I had, this whole version of life I had doesn't matter. But that's the maturity. So there's 3 phases that we have with any people that we have an issue with. First you idolize someone, then you demonize, then you humanize. So same with parents. First you idolize your parents, you think they can do no wrong. My parents would never lie to me. Then everything is their fault. Maybe you go to a therapy session one time and they're trying to sell you some program and they're like, oh, it's all your parents' fault. Now for 6 years, it's your dad's fault. And that now you demonize. And then you grow up and now you're 32 and you realize life is hard. And I am tired after work. And it's not because I don't care. It's because I'm exhausted. And then you humanize that person. So I think we go through these 3 phases. And that's what I did with the people I idolized.
With the traders.
I idolized them. And then I was like, these guys are the reason everything is messed up. And then I humanized them where I'm like, I get it. Right? I understand what you were trying to do. And I understand that I'm an idiot because I fell for that shit. And this is what part of being an adult is realizing that Santa Claus is not real. And you have to wake up. This is not a fairy tale. Life sucks. There's 35 wars happening around the world right now. And so if you think that life doesn't suck, you're living in a bubble, and life doesn't have to suck. You can be great, but you do have to acknowledge the world around you first. And living in a delusion is not the way to go. And so
do you think we're living in a delusion, or most of the people are living in a delusion on social media, for example?
Yes. Go to any country that has a real problem. You won't find the arguments or conversations that we're having in the West, because these are conversations of luxury, right? To talk about like a gender on a bathroom, for example, that's a luxury, because if you have bombs dropping over your head, who fucking cares about the sign on the bathroom, right? So it's not a real problem. It's a problem of we have too much time on our hands. You understand? And so that's why I think most people do live in a delusion, because they need to fill their time with something. People need a purpose. If you don't have a real purpose, now we're just complaining about anything. Find anything. Too much time on our hands. Life is too good.
You said before that people doesn't have purpose.
Yes.
I don't know what's your perspective, or from where are you telling that? Because I've seen a lot of Boricuas, a lot of Puerto Ricans looking for purpose and working in themselves, you know, to meet themselves, to become better, to have values in life. From where perspective are you telling that or saying that?
Well, that you just answered it, is that most people, this is the process people go through, is they search for purpose. You don't find purpose. You don't find happiness, right? You discover happiness within yourself, right? So through removing the layers, not through discovering something external. And so people are looking for purpose outside, when really you know what makes you feel the most fulfilled. And when you're doing it, you know, you're like, I'm in the right place. I'm where I'm supposed to be. And when you're not doing that, and you're signaling, your body's signaling to you that you're in the wrong place, you need to listen. So people want to search for purpose. There's a God-sized hole in all of our hearts, and if God doesn't fill it, something else will, or something will try to. So people don't have a clear intention of what their purpose is, and they don't articulate it and remind themselves so that every action and every thought and everything is driving them towards that purpose. You can get caught up in anybody else's dream. You'll just get caught up in that whirlwind, and all of a sudden you're part of that. So you need to be clear, and you need to plant that flag about what you want. Otherwise, you're going to be living somebody else's dream. And if you look, if most people listening to this ask themselves, the job, the house you live in, the car you're driving, were they all your choice from start to finish? And that, you know, that's when you start to realize.
It sounds like you have done a lot of inner work in your pathway, in the life. What things help you to... Trading.
Nothing is ever going to teach you more about mindset than trading. You can go do spiritual retreats, you can go do DMT, you can go do anything in the world.
And that's very crazy, because there's a lot of people looking for spiritual retreats and spiritual stuff and nature and DMT.
Nothing will teach you more than trading, because trading is a mirror every day, right? You know, what do people do when they're in a bad mood, right? They tell you, just psych yourself up. You just tell yourself you're in a great mood. Now, if I tell myself I'm ready to go, I'm the best in the world, and I get on the charts and I haven't done anything in the morning to actually prepare myself, I haven't prepared my nervous system, I haven't really done the work, the market's going to expose me. I'm going to be in some drawdown, and I'm going to start to sweat, and I'm going to feel it, and I'm going to want to jump out of the trade. And the market is a mirror for your mental state at that time.
Yeah.
Every day. Sometimes it's fine. You get around that one friend that's a good mirror for you, and they're like, they kind of show you what you're doing wrong. The mirror is every day. So sometimes it's like, okay, I want the learning journey. Every day is a tough thing to go through because you don't have a choice but to look in that mirror and you have to do it. So most people don't understand what trading is. Like anyone who says, oh, I'm a trader, I'm involved in trading, they're not actually trading. They're not making money. They have not committed to being a trader. There's less than 1% of the people on social media and all this stuff that are actually trading. Trading is not glamorous because there's a very clear line where a lot of the people I talk to, they're addicted. We're called chart addicts. That's the name of the company.
Yeah. You have a company.
But the whole point of the company at first was we were supposed to be like a help group for people who are addicted and just come here and here's the right way to do things and sort of helping people improve. At first, you have to become obsessed with trading to the point where you're putting in more time than anybody thinks is enough. If you think it's enough, do double.
And there's a lot of people that I know that have become obsessed, but then their mental health is like
because you can't pull away. Okay, that's the tough part is every morning before I trade, I have a list of things I do need to remind myself. And one of them is...
Can you share with
I'll give
us?
you a few is trading is what I do, not who I am. Okay?
Nice.
You have to detach from the outcome of the results. Because win or lose, that will determine your day if you're obsessed with the game. And so you have a family, you have a beautiful life, you have a beautiful, beautiful person that loves you, and you lost a trade and now you're impacting their lives. And this is every fucking day. And so you have to detach yourself from the outcomes. So at first, you have to eat, breathe, and sleep like a trader. What would future trader Roy be doing every day? Oh, he definitely wouldn't be eating this ice cream at night because I got to wake up clear-headed. Like you have to really embody the identity. What would that person do in this situation? The most disciplined and skilled and conscious version of myself. But then after a while, you do have to have that detachment. Okay. People are like, oh, I'm a pro basketball player. No, bro. You're an incredible person and you get shit done. But basketball is what you do, not who you are.
Exactly.
And as soon as you start your accolades and your accomplishments become your identity, then as soon as those are gone, what do you have?
Nothing.
Exactly.
You have a hole in your heart.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that happens to a lot of traders. Their identity is trading. And also I have a problem with this because sometimes I think that trading is a vehicle,
Yes.
Maybe your purpose is different, but trading is a vehicle.
Yes.
Trading is not necessarily your purpose for me. I see it this way. But there's a lot of people that thinks trading is purpose.
Yes.
I
was the same way. I thought and these are the people that complain online about traders starting a trading business because they think that unless all your money is coming from trading, you're not a real trader because they don't understand their purpose.
Exactly.
Okay? If you want to take your family on more vacations a year, that's your objective, that's your purpose. You're trading as a way to do that. For me, trading was a way to invest because my job was to never work again, right? So that I can work on things that are important to the world. And so I had to invest all of my trading money. So trading was a means to invest into crypto and in other investments so that those things could pay me every month. At first, you have to build the identity to become a day trader because imagine you want to lose weight. If you try to go on some 30-day or 60-day diet, it's not going to work. Why? Because every day you have to wake up and push yourself through it and have a strong mindset. And, it's a lot of energy. You're going to wake up on some Tuesday, 2 weeks from now, you don't feel like it, and it's all going to go away. So you have to build a lifestyle of health, not go for some 30-day diet. So if I tell myself I'm an identity of a healthy person, then when I go the stairs or the elevator, I'm going to take the stairs. I don't have to convince myself to take the stairs today. All right, you got this. Make sure to take the stairs. Make sure to take the stairs. You can't do that every day. If you say I'm a healthy person, if I told you let's go do, let's go do crack, right?
What the fuck?
You wouldn't be like, no, not today. You'd be like, no, people like me don't do that. Okay, so if you're like, oh, let's go take the elevator, you have to be like, no, what? No, people like me don't do that. If there's stairs right here, I'm going to take the stairs. That's the identity of a trader. You understand? So it's like, let's go party tonight.
No.
Be like, I can't, what? Wake up tomorrow foggy headed? I have to trade New York market open. Are you crazy? That's the identity. Versus but I really want to go out, but I want to stay in. And now you have this internal battle. You're going to lose that battle. You don't want to stay in. You understand?
Yeah.
You're going to lose. So the same with trading at first, build the identity. But at some point you have to detach. Because if you tie your identity to whatever your job or your performance is, then your life is ruined.
Exactly.
Because you have a good fight or a good day or a good trading day or a good business deal, it's a great day. And if you don't, your family or your friends or your lifestyle has to suffer. And so you have to detach from the outcome. You are you because you are you, not because of what you do.
Exactly. And do you have a certain habits that you do before trading that helps you to become or connect with that identity?
Yes. Short, fast workout. So sprints, not this fast walking, not this like slow stuff. What the market is doing is it's playing on your central nervous system, the one that is responsible for adrenaline and cortisol and some of the negative emotional responses. You have to kickstart your central nervous system in a very aggressive way. And it can't be a long sort of drawn out thing because then you exhaust your central nervous system. So you have to wake it up and shock it so that it is not easily taken advantage of. You understand? So first is physical, then spiritual, and then game planning the day. Most anxiety comes from not knowing what's like what do I do after this? What's going next? If you game plan your day, you're gonna be a lot more confident just going through like knowing this is where I'm supposed to be. Then the spiritual component is there's a God-sized hole in all of our hearts. I learned this, or I heard this from Vivek Ramaswamy, the presidential candidate. He did an event close to me in Florida, and I talked to him. He said there's a God-sized hole in all of our hearts, and if God doesn't fill it, something else will, which is why people have become obsessed with whatever identity sort of thing is happening today because they need that purpose. And so for me, if there's a longing there for something that I have not fulfilled, it will be there all day and I'll fill it with whatever meaningless bullshit. At least try to fill it. Okay. And so physical, spiritual, and game plan the day. And then you're ready. And it's a quick thing. You don't have an hour and a half to fucking do all this stuff. Like you do need to get to work because the sooner you start getting momentum, the better. And so a lot of people with your too long of a morning routine, that's why you haven't seen your results. You've been doing the morning routine for 2 hours for years. You don't have the results. It's because you're wasting time and not working.
Okay.
The point of priming is to get you to the game, not to replace the game.
That's very interesting about you. You are very clear about what you want, about who you are, and about your purpose as a trader and as the founder of FX Summit. What's your expectation for this year?
My expectation is that people will have a life-changing moment connecting with thousands of traders from around the world, and that I will provide an opportunity for the largest and most important names in the world to share their experience and to share the innovations to show us what the future of markets are going to look like. And every person there will walk away knowing what to do and how to take advantage of the future. That's my goal.
Do you think everyone needs to know about trading?
No, trading is definitely not for everyone, but investing is. Investing is for everybody, and that is non-negotiable. Day trading is for so few people, and it's supposed to be such a small club, and that's why there's so many people losing and confused today. Because how many people are willing to go through the journey me and you just discussed for 30 minutes? How many people are willing to make it through this podcast? If you can't make it through this podcast, what makes you think that you can watch a chart not move for 45 minutes straight without making a mistake? If you can't watch a chart for 2 hours straight on 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, and not feel inclined to do something, then you have that patience. And so you practice it in the things you listen to. I only listen to things that are over an hour long on YouTube because if I'm training myself, there's Alex Hermosi videos. Alex, if you're watching this, let me get a school sponsorship. But besides those short clips, I try to expand my, what is it called?
Tolerance?
It's the tolerance. It's your attention span.
Attention span.
It's an exercise. And so I'm listening to the most boring shit in the world.
That's very interesting because nowadays, no one wants to watch nothing about 1 minute or more.
Yeah. And no one wants to go to the gym either. It's like, but you know the people that are in shape. You know the benefits. Okay? It's the same the other way around. How do you know so much? How do you have the answer to all these things? How did you predict the future? How did you... it's right there. And no one fucking watches it. All the answers to everything that you ever need. If you think that whatever you're doing right now, you are the first person to ever do that in the world. You have not studied your problem. And you need to study your problems. You are not. And there's a book written by the smartest and best about every single thing that you're trying to do. And most of you don't read them. Okay? So stop complaining, read more, and then get to work.
That's true. So where my audience can find you, I know that you had a lot of content, or nice content on YouTube and on your social media. So where they can find you.
Make sure to check us out in the link in the description below at chartaddictsfx.com, or follow us on Instagram and YouTube at chartaddicts. Happy and safe trading, traders. Peace.
You got him. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And see you at the next podcast.